80 years ago today, Victory in Europe Day was celebrated all over Europe. It commemorates the official surrender of all German military operations on Tuesday, May 8, 1945, when the Allies of World War II formally accepted Germany's unconditional surrender of its armed forces. Now let me tell you about it. The German Instrument of Surrender was a legal document affecting the unconditional surrender of the remaining German armed forces to the Allies, ending World War II in Europe. It was signed at 2243 CET on May 8, 1945, and took effect at 2301 CET on the same day. The Soviet Union, which demanded, among other things, that the act of surrender take place of the seat of government like Nazi Germany, from which German aggression had been launched, refused to recognize the surrender document that Germany had signed with the Allies the day before in Reims, France. Thus, a second document had to be signed. Furthermore, the German forces were instructed to stop fighting in the east and cease fire in the west as soon as they signed the first document. Germany also agreed to sign a new document as suggested by the Allies under the Flensburg government headed by Grand Admiral Karl Dönitz. Representatives from the German Oberkommando der Wehrmacht, the British represented Allied Expeditionary Force, and the Supreme High Command of the Soviet Red Army signed the document at the Karlshorst Berlin headquarters of the Soviet military administration in Germany. Additional French and American representatives also signed as witnesses. The highest-ranking German official attending the signing ceremony this time was Field Marshal Wilhelm Keitel. Nazi Germany also de facto fell as a result of this surrender document. The Berlin Declaration, which has been signed on June 5, 1945 by the four Allies, France, the USSR, the UK, and the US, as the common representative of the new Germany, confirmed that the Allies had de facto occupied Germany since the German defeat. The surrender document was published in 3 different languages: English, Russian, and German. The English and Russian versions were declared to be the only official versions. Also on the same day, the French authorities under General Raymond Duval ordered the Sétif and Goulma massacre in French Algeria. In May and June 1945, a group of French colonial authorities and Pied Noir European settler militias massacred Algerian civilians in the vicinity of the French Algerian towns of Sétif and Goulma. Native Algerians killed 102 people when they rioted in Sétif and attacked French settlers in the surrounding countryside on May 8, 1945, after French police opened fire on protesters during a demonstration in the town. Estimates of the number of Algerian Muslims murdered by the French colonial authorities and European settlers and retaliation vary greatly. The current Algerian government cites an estimate of 45,000 killed compared to the 1,020 initial reported by French authorities. Historians estimate that between 3,000 and 30,000 Algerian Muslims were killed. The Algerian War of Independence, which raged from 1954 to 1962, was the direct result of the massacre, which was a watershed in Franco-Algerian relations. Well, that's all the events I have for today. But since Little Caesars was founded today, I'm gonna get some tomorrow. Well, that's all I have for today. If you like what you hear, be sure to leave a comment down below and subscribe. This is Stephen Luke, and I'll see you next time for another history update. And to my friendly Europeans out there, celebrate Victory in Europe Day. Forget about what's happening now. Remember the day you celebrated victory 80 years ago. Viva Europe. Viva the Allies.